Hi there and welcome to our preview for the race meeting at the Vaal on Thursday, the 4th of July. 8-race program. First race off at 12:30. It's a work riders maiden plate over 1,200 meters, which opens the bipot. As always for Highveld meetings, we welcome on the line Alistair Cohen. Alistair, first of all good your side?
All good, thanks, Graham. Yep, we start this meeting and we'll be less than 48 hours away from Africa's greatest horse race, which is a wonderful thought, obviously, with the sale going on alongside this meeting at the Vaal. Lots of people dreaming to buy that next champion. There's always a couple of treasures at the KZN sale held at Suncoast, but yep, it's the best time of year. Nothing quite like it. And to be fair, I mean, not to blow smoke, but I think pundits have to sort of advertise their wins. It's been 2 consecutive wins for Highveld racing on this particular show, and I quite like the card. I'm not particularly mad about the last couple of races, I must be honest, but overall I've got a good feeling about this card.
So we're looking for an Alistair Cohen hat-trick, and why not? We open up, as I said, with the work riders maiden plate over 1,200 meters. Now the odds-on favourite is number 1, Vibe SA. 7 starts, 5 seconds in his career. Beaten at even money, beaten at 6 to 10, beaten at 18 to 10, beaten at even money. Last time out, beaten at 4 to 10. Is he going to get beaten at 5 to 10?
That's a horrible statistic, Graham, what you just read out. The first thing that I need to bear in mind is that we're on the Vaal original track. The way that the track is set up, high number draws will probably be, look like they'll be suited down the straight, with the outside rail set at 0 and the inside rail, I think, is set at 8. So you'll probably find a lot of the guys making a beeline for the outside. The suggested bet is a bipot, and I have opened up with a banker in the form of Vibe SA. Let's be honest, he was all over a winner last time on Hollywoodbets Challenge Day when he just got snared late by Bugger Lugs, who came with a late rattle. He's got an outside draw as number 1 Vibe SA, so that definitely piques my interest. And I will say it that this is the weakest field that he's running. Although he's been costly to follow, he's not going to get much weaker than this number 1 Vibe SA, so I think it's his time. He does get a seasoned and well-accomplished and many winning work rider in the form of Chamal Mabaya on board. But with that said, Graham, drawn all the way on the inside is a stable companion called Sovereign Crown, who is ridden by Tony Peters' right-hand man as far as the work riders are concerned, Pelasile Makawa. They're basically family. They grew up together, to Tony and Pelasile. Pelasile was a successful work rider for Tony's dad, Paul. I hope I'm not reading too much into that, and the fact that there's no money around for number 11, Sovereign Crown, not yet anyway, does ease my feelings about number 1, Vibe SA. If he doesn't win, he's probably going to be confined to being a maiden for a very, very long time, but I think he will get the job done.
Vibe SA to get favourite backers off to a good start. Watch the market with regards his stable companion, number 11, Sovereign Crown, on debut. Race 2, first leg of the place accumulator. Maiden juvenile plate for fillies over 1,700 meters, so the 2-year-old trips are now being extended. Number 1, Bella's Charm, is at 7 to 1. Number 3, Emblem of the Sun, at 9 to 2. Again, we have an odds-on favourite in the form of number 5, Hat's Queen, 7 to 10, had 2 starts to date, over 1,450 and 1,600, finishing 3rd and then 2nd. The only other runner quoted in single figures is number 7, Party Punch, at 6 to 1. So we have another deep odds-on favourite in race 2, the opening leg of the place accumulator.
And I think she might be opposable. Although she's in my bipot, number 5, Hat's Queen, I do have a query about the fact that she carried 49 kilos last time, was given every chance, and was beaten by Festival of Magic. Obviously, there was a loose horse in the race that probably compromised number 5, Hat's Queen's chances, but I thought that the way the race pretty much unfolded, that she had every chance to win the race. So I think she may have a couple of vulnerabilities. And I think number 3, Emblem of the Sun, Graham, could be a lively challenger. I think she brings probably a little bit more reliable form. It's the second one after a break. I'd venture to say that her first 2 starts may have come a little bit too soon for this daughter of Give Me the Green Light. This makes her a half-sister to the very well-performed Captain Peg, who runs in race 11 on Hollywoodbets Durbanville. I think she's a 6-time winner. So Emblem of the Sun might be at the right type of maturity level to improve and run a huge race here. And I think there's a little bit of value around her at a price of 7 to 2. So if Hat's Queen has any vulnerabilities. I think it could come in the shape of number 3, Emblem of the Sun, and Muzieni for Paul Matchett. Matchett really comes alive this time of year. Not that he's been dead during the greener track months up on the Halfveld, but he really had a successful sort of winter spell last season, and it looks like the yard is really coming to hand in a big way at the moment. And I think this horse number 6, Lacewing, Graham, do not leave that out of trifectas and quartets. She has run to horses that are running in the Grade 2 Golden Slipper on Hollywoodbets Durbanville, albeit well beaten by Little Ballerina and Kitiwe's Destiny. Lacewing is in much, much, much calmer waters, and out of draw 1, I put a query next to her stamina capabilities being by Danon Platina out of a Toreador mare, but there's enough in her favour definitely to give trifectas and quartets a shake. Whatever price she is, she's overpriced, certainly for a top 3 place.
So there we go. That was the first leg of the place accumulators. We move forward on this 8-race card to the first leg of the pick 6, due off at 13:45. Maiden Juvenile Plate, again over 1,700 metres. Uncharted waters for some of the runners. Those in single figures, number 3, I Belong at 33-10. Number 5, Robert Browning, who gets the tongue ties at 9-1. The firm favourite is number 6, Serrano, at 14-10, has run third in all 3 starts to date and steps up in trip. Number 7, Towers of Gold. We've just heard Alistair comment about the Paul Matchett stable. Towers of Gold, son of Gimme the Green Light, having only its 3rd start. Again, similar form to Serrano, having finished 3rd in its first 2 starts. Cabela Matsignani takes the ride at number 7, Towers of Gold. That's at 2-1. So Serrano at 14-10, Towers of Gold at 2-1. I Belong at 33-10, 9-1 and better by the top 3. Is it really a 3-cornered contest?
Yes, it is. In the pick 6, you can easily get away with just going the 3. I can't see any of the other 5 horses winning the race. And in the bar pot, I think you can probably eliminate one of them and be safe in getting through. That's what I've done. And in the place accumulator, you might even get away with a banker. What I'm saying is a box trifecta could be the way to go, although you're not going to get rich taking it. I can't see too many speed bumps here. Socrat hasn't had a winner yet, if I'm not mistaken. This could be his best chance. When you look at number 3, I Belong, first run obviously came over 1,000 metres. There could have been any amounts of excuses for running the way that he did, but he stepped up in the 2nd slot behind Wahid, who I think is a well above average 2-year-old, and we'll learn a lot more about at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Saturday when he runs in the Golden Horseshoe. But I think more than that, Graham, is that he ran 2nd to Guerrilla Warfare last time. Although Guerrilla Warfare ran against open and older company straight out of the maidens and ran no sort of race, horses who ran 5th and 6th, in other words, well beaten by I Belong, have come out and won. It's a powerful form line, and I like the way that he hit the line last time. He was easily the best finisher, and this could give an indication exactly what the Socrats are looking for. So there could still be hope yet over an extended trip. So number 3, I Belong, very much in the play. But I think number 6, Serrano, probably have his day in the sun here from a stout stayer's pedigree. They're sort of Oaks and Derby horses all down the page here at a pure spice, with Pomanda being one of them who ran 2nd in the Volkerbos Drift South African Oaks a number of years ago. Pierre Stratham on board for Joey Soma. Tongue tie goes onto the sun of Buffalo Bill Cody. Hopefully that aids him a little bit more. Much like Guerrilla Warfare's form, Serrano does bring some very strong form lines into the picture. Very hard to ignore those. And for that reason, those are the 2 horses in my bipod, as opposed to number 7, Towers of Gold, who I do give a winning chance to. Towers of Gold finished in front of Robert Browning and Red Legend in the Key News run, but his form lines are just not quite brightening up as much as I Belong and Serrano, despite his winning chance. So I'm more keen on 3 and 6 than I am for 7, but I'd loathe to leave out 7 in the pick 6.
Race 4, the opening leg of Jackpot 1 is a maiden plate over 1,200 metres. That's for the fillies and the mares. Let's have a look at the betting. We have 2 early scratchings. A reminder again that we record more than 24 hours ahead of the race meeting, but you can take out at this early stage number 6, Paradise Flower, and number 9, Green Lightning. And once again, we only have 3 horses in the market. Number 7, Cataclock, that's top of the boards at 2-1. 13, the cleverly named Willie Meet Again, is at 3-1. Number 10, Kamati River, is at 33-10. Tony Peter saddles 2 of those fancied runners in the form of number 7, Cataclock, and number 10, Kamati River. Which is preferred, Alistair?
On jockey bookings, Kamati River, but the outside draw does bring number 7, Cat O'Clock, into the play. I've got 3 horses in my bar pot. I dare I say the scratching in the banana Green Lightning makes this race a little bit easier, because you couldn't possibly leave her out on the bad luck that she had last time behind subsequent winner What's a Lucy, but we'll have to talk about her another day. I'd go with Kamati River here, Graham. A lot of the progeny are actually very good out of Venus Rising. There was that good horse that Paul Peter trained just before he handed in his license that was on a rapid rise out of the same mare, Venus Rising. So I'd anticipate that going along the same type of lines that Kamati River would improve with racing. Kelvin Habib, stable jockey, takes a ride for Tony Peter, running 5 lengths to Boston Glory, although she ran no sort of race on Sunday in a small field. A lot of horses in and around Kamati River have come out and won, and that's proving to be an above average form line. So I think with natural improvement, number 10, Kamati River, is probably the one that I lean towards from the Peter pair, although I do have a lot of respect for number 7, Cat O'Clock. Good run at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Ran like she needed it as well, when it actually looked like she was moving up to be a huge contender, and just found a little bit, didn't find too much over the final 100 meters when One Smart Cookie and the runner-up just sort of quickened away from her. So I think there'll be a lot more to come. Be great to see Stevie Donahue get into the number 1 box in South Africa as well. He's here on a sort of busman's holiday, I believe, and he'll be at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Saturday to ride Street Art. So I think Cat O'Clock's alive. And then obviously number 13, Willie Meet Again by William Longsword. Craig Zaki takes a ride for Lucky Hoodalakis. We know how prolific Lucky is at the Vaal. That's his home base. Although carrying a lighter weight than the winner last time, she ran against winners and she acquitted herself nicely, clearing most of the field except for the highly talented winner in the form of Simply Majestic, who is already a stakes winner. So there's going to be a lot of improvement to come from number 13, Willie Meet Again. She ran like she'll relish the extra furlong here, and she's definitely not one to leave out. So as far as the pick 6 bar pot is concerned, I'd include all 3. I think the race runners in here bring pretty shallow form, and if a first timer is good enough, well, then they've got to be very good.
So that's a wrap for race 4. As we go to race 5, first leg of Jackpot 2, it's a fillies and mares 96 divided handicap over 1,200 metres. That's the end of the short-priced favourites for the next couple of races at least. Here it's wide open. Number 1, One Fell Swoop at 6 to 1. 3, Runway Bomb 7 to 1. 5, Wings Within Me at 5 to 1. Your early market leader, but only marginally so, is number 7, Alicia's Love at 9 to 2. Number 10, On Cue at 7 to 1. Those are the ones that are in single figures, but clearly the betting suggests, Alistair, not an easy race.
No, this is probably the hardest race thus far on the card, but it's hard for the right reasons. There's some well-performed fillies and mares in here, and some progressing fillies and mares at that. I've gone 3, 6, and 10 in my bar pot here, Graham. If I had to lean towards one, it probably would be number 10, On Cue, with Muzi Yenny on board. Despite an inside draw, but her running style does drop her in, and with a little bit of luck in running, she'll be steaming home. That's just what she does. I know she ran at Hollywoodbets Greyville last time. She did start favourite, perhaps controversially so, and missed the place accumulator. But this is a totally different filly at the Vaal than she is anywhere else. 4 of her 5 career wins have come at the Vaal. Most of her places have come at the Vaal, and I think with a light weight, she's going to be alive to run a huge race, number 10, On Cue, and she's just fairly consistent and has to go into the reckoning and has to go into the play. So I'd lean towards her off a light weight, and her running style, I think she can adapt to dropping in and running on fairly strongly over the closing stages, this daughter of Oratorio. The biggest disclaimer I can give you, sadly for most exotics barring Jackpot 2, is her behaviour before the race. When it's bad, she runs poorly. She can throw a little bit of a performance before she gets onto the track, and if she does, her performance does tend to take a bit of a back seat. So if you are keen on her, just watch her behaviour in the parade ring and coming out onto the track. 3, Runway Bomb comes off a layoff. Kelvin Habib takes a ride outside draw. Very, very good filly, good and quick filly as well. But if you like Runway Bomb, then you've got to give number 6, Midnight Gem, more than just the light of day. Runway Bomb was beaten by Midnight Gem by 4.5 lengths on the 1st of February, and she comes in here well weighted as number 6, Midnight Gem, equally with an outside draw. Dennis Schwarz has partnered her in more than half of her career wins. She too is best at the Vaal, with more than half of her wins coming at this course, and if not winning, she just runs probably above herself. She's probably an overachiever as number 6, Midnight Gem, and she always has been a nice horse to include in trifectas and quartets, because she just tends to get her head in there, run above herself and make things pay, because she's just underappreciated. So those are my numbers in the bar pot, 3, 6 and 10. I've left out the favourite, number 7, Alicia's Love, from an informed yard.
You've also made no mention, just quickly, number 1, One Fell Swoop, of course, who raced in the Grade 1 South African Filly Sprint last time. Obviously set to carry 63.5 in this handicap, but the apprentice takes 4 kilos off the back. Drawn towards the far side of the course, which is probably not in her favour. But quick comment about One Fell Swoop?
Plummets in class, respect her chances. I think the handicapper may have reached her though for 104 as a 3-year-old. I think it's going to be quite a hard ask for her with the apprentice on board.
Race 6. First leg of the final, pick 3. Fillies a mare 78 handicap, 1,200 metres. And here again, the betting sends a clear message. Just to note that number 8, Lady Elliot, is an early scratching. Number 1, Where's the Party at 5-1. Hat-trick seeking number 2, What a Lucy at 6-1. 4, Princess Lola is at 8-1. And the only other runner quoted in single figures is number 14, Golden Moment, who won on debut, makes her second racetrack appearance for Sean Tarry and Samanga Kamalo. That's at 6-1. Again, a very trappy contest.
I think we can eliminate quite a lot of horses here, Graham. I think they're just horses that are just not going anywhere in their place or out of form at the moment. And I'm going to rely on the form and offer. I'm not going to look too hard for something that may be completely off the radar that might have a winning chance. I don't see it, to be honest. I've gone 1, 2, and 9 as my main protagonists. There would be a few others that I'd include into the pick 6. A horse like Golden Aspen, I think, needs to be respected, and also the 2-year-old who could be anything, number 14, Golden Moment. But and also 17, Samoa. Now that gets a run, that's got to be a player as well. But drawn towards the inside is a little bit of a worry. But yeah, 1, 2, and 9, my main horses here. Number 1, Where's the Party? Very good run last time on the Turfentine Inside Track, where there was a flood of talk and a flood of money on number 1, Where's the Party. 3-time winner from 20 starts. A lot of her good performances came in the Cape, and now with Tony Peter started live with a bang. Although against weaker opposition, she's got top weight, but I think she can lug that round. Number 2, What a Lucy. It's actually a great story about What a Lucy, because she started her career, and Lucky Hooter has made no bones about the fact that she showed it so much, but the issues and the stop-starts and the way that she got herself worked up at the races obviously compromised performance. But just a few months, maturity, patience, and she's actually turning into a pretty useful filly. She's upwardly mobile, put it like that, and I don't think she's going to die a 2-time winner or retire a 2-time winner, this daughter of What a Winter. She won in commanding fashion last time, beating Micker's Bomb. She got a £6 penalty, and I'm of the opinion that she might be a few rating points above that. So number 2, What a Lucy, bang on the race as well. And then number 9, Micker's Bomb. Wherever What a Lucy is, Micker's Bomb ought to be right behind. There's 2 1/4 lengths to turn around, but she does come in here with a 1 kilogram turnaround in the weights. And although Micker's Bomb ain't going to Hollywood, I think that the rating drop has now put her very much in the picture of being able to win a race like this. Moosey's back on board for Fani Broncos. Fani's in good form. Outside draw is going to aid her chances. And number 9, Micker's Bomb, bang in the race as well. They're the 3 main horses for me, but I think punters might need to include 1 or 2 others that might just pique their interest.
7th race on the card is an MR80 handicap over 1,700 metres. First leg of the final double. It's due off at 16.05. A few card changes. Number 2, Royal Edition, will now be ridden by Samanga Kamalo. Number 6, Second Buyer, is a scratching, as is number 8, Festival of Magic. The 2 scratchings reducing the field to just 8 runners. Number 1, Majestic Palace at 11-2. Number 2, Royal Edition at 9-1. 4, Fushimi Inari is at 4-1. 5, Moolah Man, 7-2. Both Fushimi Inari and Moolah Man racing in the Verner's Silks. But the favourite at 17-10 is the Alec Lair train, number 7, Mocha Frappe, 3-year-old son of the United States. Brings reasonable form into the race, but when I saw the betting and I looked at the race, I know it's perhaps not that deep, but I thought 17-10 looked a little on the sharp side.
I'm with you here, Graham. I don't like the look of this race because I just think they're horses that are coming into their own in this race, that are down in class, that are going to give things a good shake. He's obviously an improving 3-year-old, the well-bred 3-year-old, drawn in gate 1, ran against some pretty useful opposition last time, being well beaten by Twa Cut, but still beating a lot of well-performed horses, probably of a similar ilk. But I'm also a little bit sceptical and a bit dicey in this race. The 2 scratchings might help the cause here a little bit. I think number 5, Moolah Man's alive here. Gavin Lorena takes her out for Stuart Pettigrew. Gavin would have had the choice between the 2 Verner's horses from the same yard, and he's gone with number 5, Moolah Man, who tries 1,700 metres for the first time. He's never been stretched to this trip, and he runs like he'll get the trip as well. He was a little bit flat at Hollywoodbets Greyville, but I think he's probably looking for the longer run, and just where you can sit and wait and sort of suss out the opposition and send them at the right time. So this might be the sweet spot for number 5, Moolah Man. So I make him a big runner. Number 1, Majestic Palace is impossible to read because, as you can see, his form is very in and out. When he puts it all together, he can be a very difficult horse to get past. But I think the biggest the kick to number 1, Majestic Palace, is if he gets to the front. He needs a bit of running to get to the front, but once he gets there, he's a difficult horse to pass. Sadly, we won't know if he's going to get to the front after 100 metres of the race, but I'm sure the intentions will be to ride him positively and to get him forward. And then number 2, Royal Edition. I still don't know what he was doing in the World Sports Betting KZN Guineas when he took on Green with Envy and all the big 3-year-old colts from around the country, but he is plummeting in class here, Graham, and the handicap has done him a favour, dropped him £5. He's actually going to look around and say, what is this that I'm running with all of a sudden? I thought I was a bit better than this. So his play here will probably be swingers 2 and 5 in the penultimate race on the card.
Okay, we apologise for the fact that there's a little bit of interference on the line, but we'll keep going. You heard all of what Alistair had to say about race 7, the penultimate race on the card. Let's move to the 8th race, which is the final event, off at 16:35, MR73 handicap over 1,400 metres. We again apologise for the intermittent sound problems, but in this race over 1,400 metres, number 2, Putin's Promise, is at 9-2. Number 3, Grand Crescendo, is at 5-1. 4, Sneak Preview at 6-1. 5, Fast Duty is at 6-1. 7, Walled Garden is at 13-2. And there's blinkers been added to the equipment for number 12, Call Me Master. Again, a tough race to end proceedings at the Vaal. What's your fancy?
It's a very, very tough race. Indeed. I'll start with Candace's horse in the 3, Grand Crescendo. First one's a gelding. When he races before the race, he was sweating up. He pulled all the way down to the start, and he tugged the entire 1,400 metres, which is hard to do down the Vaal straight. And he was able to beat Shinto Shrine, who, despite taking a while to win, finally won at prohibitive odds, I think, a week earlier. Gavin Arena's back on board. His work is very good. He seems to have settled down with a gelding. So I think number 3, Grand Crescendo, I can't put you off. He'll run a big race, but as always, disclaimers apply with 2-year-olds against older opposition because, you know, obviously the older opposition have the experience. They've been there, done that. They're gritty veterans, especially in this race, and they also know the Vaal Straights and they know how to get themselves out of a bit of trouble. So if Grand Crescendo does perform like he can or like he did last time, he might be in a spot of bother, but he's not showing those signs at home. So that's the good news about Grand Crescendo. Then there are a few horses that have been on my radar for a very long time. Number 7, Walled Garden. I'll probably have a few more houses, a few more properties with Walled Garden. Had he won a few races along the way, especially last time behind Cityscape, where he ran into trouble. Inside draws a bit of a worry. So he's in the race. I respect him because I wouldn't want to not be on his side when he wins. I'm convinced a winner's going to come soon for number 7, Walled Garden. But I think all in all, the horse that they probably all need to beat here is number 5, Fast Duty. Calvin Abibrad's 4 Stuart Pettigrew ran behind King's Ransom last time when King's Ransom got away from start to finish. He runs in a straight line for the first time in his life over 1,400 metres, but he's knocking on the door again as number 5, Fast Duty, and the handicap has done him a favour to the tune of £1. So I think that's going to bring him into the race, number 5, Fast Duty. If Putin's Promise had an outside draw, he would most definitely go into the play. I think number 10, Prince of Kildare's alive. I think number 12, Call Me Master's alive as well. I wouldn't completely write off the maiden winner, number 16, Lava Fire, with no weight on his back. I think that he could very easily get into the top 4. But I would lean towards number 3, Grand Crescendo, and number 5, Fast Duty, the 2 likeliest winners, with number 7, Walled Garden, 10, Prince of Kildare, and 12, Call Me Master. And probably it'll be stupid to leave out number 2, Putin's Promises, back up.
Well, as you heard there from Alistair, it's a tough way to end proceedings at the Vaal. The 8th race wide open. Good to hear that's all well with Grand Crescendo from the stable of Candace Dawson, of course, and Fast Duty and Walled Garden, the ones to look out for. But the suggested bet that comes from Alistair, and he referred to this earlier, is the Bipot, which gets underway in the first race at 12:30. We start with the banker number 1, Vibe SA. Alistair, take us through your perm.
So, yeah, Yep, as you mentioned, 12:30, race 1 on this 8-race card. Banker number 1, Vibe SA in the first leg. Then gone numbers 3 and 5, Emblem of the Sun and Hats Queen, but don't leave number 6 out of your trifectas and swingers, because I think that she's going to run her best race. Then gone numbers 3 and 6, I Belong and Serrano, with number 7 as backup in the pick 6. Then race 4, leg 4 of the bipod, gone 7, Cataclock, 10, Kamati River, and 13, Willie Me to gain. Penultimate leg, 3, Runway Bomb, 6, Midnight Gem, and 10, On Cue. And the final leg of the bipod, I think we can put a pin through more than half this field. So number 1, Where's the Party, 2, Waterloosie, the 2 top weights, and back up from number 9, Micker's Bomb.
Well, you better jot down those numbers, because as you heard at the top of the show, Alistair Cohen's on a roll. He's looking for a straight hat-trick of winning suggested bets on our GTV Gallop Preview shows. Alistair, we'll see you on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thanks, Graham. Looking forward to it. And I think now that Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Wednesday is gone, Hollywoodbets Durbanville week pools are going to be even bigger. Get involved. I think you'll enjoy yourself on Thursday. Thanks, Graham. See you the weekend.
Thanks, Alistair. Cheers for now.